You've never played a Pokemon game quite like this. This is Pokemon Salt and Shadow, an all-new open-world Souls-like. There's no EXP gain, Pokemon Center, or exposition at all. You only have 13 days to beat the entire game, and I get thrown straight in. I'm underwater for a little bit, and I surf away to this close-by cavern. There are 3 balls presented to me: the Bird Ill of Omen, the Whimpering Fairy, or the Emblem of Treachery. I got the third. My starter is a Krogunk, a little Frug, and with that, we make our move. As we try to go forward, the game stops us. The world is beyond repair. There may not be enough time to save it. Its guardians now stand in stasis, defending the status quo. This will not be a gentle experience. The challenges ahead are unfair. Some may be impossible. You have little guidance and many paths. But even with that, I tell them I'm ready. Your world is not. And we begin at our first area, the cradling lighthouse. I pick up some potions and quickly get an Eevee. He's always sitting there on the side. After that, door opens up, where we have Oak awaiting us. Our first fight, and it's mandatory. It's real easy, but it shows we get no gains from our winnings. No EXP at all, and he vanishes away. We move forward to this purple pitchy eye, and he sent us to Ranger's Rest. Our first little pit stop. I don't take any time. To the east, we've got the Deepwood Forest. To the north, we have Journey's End, and to the west, we have Sorrow's Path. I try to go straight for the end, but this old man stopped me. Only the worthy may enter, and he showed that I am definitely not built enough for it. But luckily in this game, we can run away, so I go to rethink my path, and we took the sorrowful one, trying to fight this hiker, but he was still too strong. I'm forced to pick up a Pokemon in the wild. After a little bit, encounter this level 10 Marowak. Double my level so far, but he actually took us both down, and I whited out. You have learned. Try a different path. You awake, battered and defeated. Our Perish song grows in tempo. My first day, pretty much wasted. I decided to go forth to the forest, deeper into Deepwood, and this trainer was no problem. And neither was this boy who was just guarding a statue. It's a guardian who we can offer Pokemon sacrifices to. But unfortunately, it wants a Chikorita and Clefairy. We don't have either, so we keep going. You feel a quiet sense of disappointment. Along the way, scooped up the spinner rack and this little Tangela, packed up some more Pokemon, and we made it on our way. Unfortunately, lost my Eevee though. There were more trainers to fight, but this old man caught my sight. He was peaceful. He just wanted to tell me a little story. He goes on a long spiel about this one time in a picnic with his daughter. Seems like he misses her a lot. But in return for me listening, he gave me a fishing rod. He slowly walks away, but I'm sure we'll find him again. I tried out and spotted a Magikarp. And after a little bit, even got a Wooper. As we were going forward in the forest, we found a lone book beneath the bench. Blood and salt all over. I should have buried you then, you wicked child. In this game, there's no exposition or story or anything, so I don't really know what they're talking about yet. Tried to fight this bug boy, but he was a little too strong, so we left him. A sign caught my eye along the way. It said, "Beware. Deepwood Wen contains wild Pokemon of a higher level. Only authorized trainers are permitted to increase their team's power. A guardian trainer has been stationed here for your own safety. The champion will reign forever." I'm not sure who the champion is yet, but this next trainer is a little too strong for me. So I turned my way back to Sorrow's Path. Now, no one in this area can stop me. My Frug did fall though, but behind him was a shred of hope. With no EXP, this is the only way to gain levels. And it's the only item that acts as a revive, so I was able to wake up that dog in me. I go around and check out this fountain and it says, "Caution, drinking water is a privilege. Collecting free water puts jobs at risk," but I take some water anyway. But I get stopped. Someone says, "Hey, that's illegal." And a swimmer cop came to fight me. Like any dastardly criminal, I just ran away, keeping the merchandise with me, of course. Try to score another tasty lick, and it says, "Due to recent events, we've increased security for this fountain. The water thieves will not escape again." Of course, I can't stop myself, and 3 more waters enter my bag. But now, I literally cannot run. But with the heels on my side, we were able to pack up his team. It was only until they started to struggle. Unfortunately, Pokelaw was just too strong. I lost my second day. And with my whole team awake and refreshed, we easily swiped them away. My Frug's ability was too strong for him. He had dry skin, and they were all water. My whole team fainted, but we got a Phantom afterwards. I decided to go back to Ranger's Rest and drop them all off in PC. And this time went south to find the Shrine of Silent Gods. There was 3 guardian statues waiting for their sacrifices, and a lone Cubone just standing there, an abandoned offering, trembling in the cold. It hoped the firstborn would carry it away. I don't know what that is, but we take it. Everyone deserves a family. There's 3 statues to sacrifice to, all of them wanting a Celebi. This one wants a Mareep on the side, Pidgeotto and a Xatu, or a Honchkrow and Houndoom. I'm going progressively higher in level, but we don't have any of these Pokemon. I keep going down and immediately find a Clefairy. One of the statues in the forest we went to wants this. I catch it, but spotted Boiling Sands. Never been here, and I found a book. The champion has a new Pokemon. It isn't one of the firstborn. It's a new Pokemon. It's a blue wolf with a golden crown, steel in its jaws. Where did he get it? Only the Sea Mother can birth new Pokemon. Again, this is how the story is presented. It's all pieced together in these signs and books, so I don't really know what he's talking about yet. I just decided to explore a little more. Catching this Chinchou, and finding a few trainers to get to this cave. But right before, we found a Duskstone, getting a clean evolution to back us up. But in the cave, we found Molten Sorrow. Found this poster. Intricate diagrams, symbolic logic. The handwriting is incredibly precise. It looks machine rendered. Not sure what he's talking about, but there's some fire type Pokemon here. 2 of a Sandalette, a Vulpix, and this Magcargo. There is also a statue here, but we didn't have the Pokemon for it. But immediately, just got the Growlithe. That was one of them, so why not? I also got this Charmander for later, and a Rexy on top to round things out. Because I've already got the Growlithe, I decided to go for them all and get the Cyndaquil right away. But here, where the Cubone was, is this guy, an archaeologist here to study the shrines. If we give him a shard that we find on the floor, he'll give us an ancient artifact in return. We already had some, and he gave us a black flute. Pretty much a permanent repel, but we don't use it yet. Catching this Chikorita and going forward to a dragon den. There's a stone that stated they asked their champion to make a sacrifice. He sacrificed the world instead. His champion does not seem nice, and the old man in front of me is way too powerful to allow me to go on. But with the Chikorita and Clefairy, we go back to Deepwood and sacrifice them to the god of growth and time. And in return, we got a Celebi, a legendary Pokemon, but he's only level 8. One of the key pieces for these other sacrifices. We'll keep it for later. In the forest, we find some more fools blocking our way in this locked door that we can't go through. But more importantly, we're stronger now to challenge the man blocking our way forward, deeper into Deepwood, where we found another book. I've come to a grim epiphany. Pokemon are plentiful. They can be easily replaced. If I must sacrifice 3 or 4 of them to defeat a single trainer, I can always catch more. This allows me to journey further, finding even higher level replacements. Kind of how we have to play the game with no EXP gain. But luckily right ahead, we find another shred of hope. So we boost the Bone Boy up, beating up the rest of the trainers along the way as well. Try to keep going forward, there's another sign. Stop here. This trainer is the final guardian before the Deep Bush Brushlands. Only authorized trainers are permitted to catch powerful Pokemon. Please turn around. And have a nice day. Before I test my luck, we try to get everyone around us. And along the way, we found a rest stop, another place to sleep, and this Mewtwo statue where I can learn past moves, and a memory of flight, where now I can fly to each of these checkpoints. But I'm fine for now. It's secure enough to start this fight. My blood may burn. My bones may break, but we shall keep closed the outer gates. He's clearly very, very strong, but my double fire type burned him away. Behind him was a level 20 Shred of Hope, copped up to the Charmander, who immediately evolved. And this area indeed had a lot more stronger Pokemon. I tried to catch his first Pinecoat, but he immediately exploded. What a waste. I caught this Monferno instead. Along the way, we found another book. I've started to hear a voice. It tells me secret things. It told me about the place between the walls. And it asked me to do things in return. Harmless things, like flicking the light on, off. On, off. Clearly a code for something, but I have no idea what it is yet. Before going any deeper, we went backwards to uncover this cave. This lady said thank you and disappeared into sparkles. And there was a sign that said, there's no way to get this item. Please excuse the flawed creators of this world. I've been bamboozled, but not really, because I can still get it. Kind of genius. For ahead, we found the Dreamer's Tomb and scooped up a Sea Mother's Tear. It allows any Pokemon to evolve right away. And stupidly, I put it on the monkey. I don't know why I did that right away, but still. In this room, we found a statue to the Watchful Night. No offering can earn us forgiveness for what happened here. I should leave it be. Got an item and found another sign. A young girl walked through this forest. Her hair was sunset red. She found a quiet clearing and made it her bed, but never did they feast. The dreamer's sleeping smile made guards of every beast. One day, a dashing champion came across her den. He left her sleeping deeper. She'd never dream again. It was a nice little poem, but I don't know what it means, so we moved on. In front of us was this piece of grass. A weeping vine grows from a pile of salt. It's all that remains from a wanderer that finally lost hope. Enter the memory of defeat.
So it's a memory of defeat, right? It gives you a past wanderer's team, and you have to see if you can win on their last fight.
And these memories, they're set puzzle fights you have to uncover. And the same Pokemon with the same stats and the same moves every time. And they're all open-ended too, so not just one way to do it. Taking into account everything, every ability, and every possibility. But I'm dumb and eventually give up. Instead, I caught another monkey and went back to the Boiling Sands beach. We're in the Molten Sorrow Cave. We had enough for another sacrifice. The statue's eyes glow with recognition. It awaits the next tribute. And after all 3, we got an Entei, the biggest boy. And with that, we decided to dominate all the trainers in the area. Back out of the beach, went deeper in Deepwood, where we found a hammer to smash some rocks, and this old building with an old man geeking out inside. Talked to a bunch more of these trainers before we found another book. I've laid stones to measure the phenomenon. Path is simultaneously 14 and 8 stones across. The reports of a fold in space were more literal than anticipated. Advise additional caution when attempting lunar experiments. I know what he's saying. We found a new area. The Shimmering Lake. Alright, went fishing and found a whalmer. And behind us, found another book. The anomaly seems to have created an electric storm in the area. Beware, electrical beasts. Had some more lake trainers to fight before we found another home. A fresh bed to sleep in, but we don't waste the day. By the lake, though, we caught this Ampharos and used her to fight this fisherman. Where we found another fountain. It said, wishing fountain. Please wish responsibly. I can wish for wealth, a long life, happiness, or the champion's victory. Obviously, the correct choice going with our overlord. But all it said in return was, thanks. We got nothing. I wish for happiness instead, and we got a Happini. I named it sad. That made me happy. But immediately, my smile was wiped away. It said, illegal wish detected. Another swimmer cop came to beat me up. The swimmer wish police. He parasonged my Ampharos. And after a little bit, we just ran away. And now, it said, due to recent events, we've increased security for this fountain. The subversive wishers will not escape again. I decided to leave the police alone, start beating up some other people. These trainers weren't too hard. We uncovered Skyspear Climb. Before we went too far, we went back to Ranger's Rest. We're in this other building. This old lady has a bunch of balls. She rewards trainers for catching different species of Pokemon. And I've already got 25, so I got a Shred of Hope and a Master Ball. Pretty nice. With my new team, we decided to go north to Journey's End. I'm not not scared of this old man anymore, and quickly he was wiped away. Got some items, but we found this locked cave, so it's probably not that interesting anyway. Ahead, we spotted a school of statues. A lesson to those that venerated the Queen of Orchids. Those who burn bright will be snuffed out. The other statue was another lesson to those that venerated the Willbreaker. Those that seek to control the champion forge prisons of their own making. A lesson to those that venerated the Dragon Master. Loyalty will preserve your existence. Bravery will not. And to the nameless shepherd, life begins and ends at the word of the champion alone. This guy seems to be a big deal, but we found another guy just standing there. He says, another challenger. I've grown bored watching them carried out as bags of dust. He challenges me to a game of cards, giving me a card binder, and challenged me for a low stakes gamble, just $1,000. Automatically I'm interested, but I have no idea what I'm looking at. Apparently, it's Pokemon's take on Triple Triad from Final Fantasy.
What the? I didn't play Final Fantasy.
It's basically like four-sided dominoes. Instead of matching the numbers, instead of catching another card, you have to be the higher number on the side. But typings play a role, so if you're super effective or super weak, it's plus or minus 2. And on our first try, we won. It seems my confidence in you was justified. Here are your winnings. And with that, he disappeared. The sign behind him said, by decree of the champion, challengers may not use medicine items in the seat of his power. The weak will be weak. The strong will be strong. The champion will reign forever. I decided to try and see what he's like and go straight for him. Immediately, we get stopped. Only the worthy may meet the champion. His work is too important to be disturbed. Are you worthy? Tell him I am. But he says, no, you are arrogant. Flee now and live a little longer. The champion will reign forever. I look around and it is confirmed that I can't use heals here. Clearly, I'm not strong enough, so we make our way back to Sarah's path. The trainers here weren't too bad. And we found the farmland. After a few more fights, spotted a line of Litwicks. There's this old man at the end. Someone was guarding him, but I was too strong to be stopped. He said, you did not disturb the graves. Do the lives of strangers have value? I tell him, yes. And he responds, then I have a gift for you. Light or shadow? The stream cat decided to go with shadow because they relish the danger, but in return we just got a dusk stone. Already had one of these. He says you can disturb the graves now. Please do not. Poofs away in a bunch of pixie dust. And with that, we keep clearing these trainers blocking our way. And we walk into this cave and spot this lady just standing there.
The game that shadows yet to find draws them to the Deepwood shrine. Such callous angels, their charge resign. My master with a monster is entwined. Don't mind me. Just working on a meaningless poem. Okay. Shall we play? Oh, it's another card gamer. Oh.
And she wants to play the card game. Take her up on her challenge, but we cannot win. Definitely not good enough yet, and we caught the Persian behind her instead. I ignore her and go head forward, beating up this old man and finding another way to Skyspear climb. Remember, the best trainers and the best Pokemon share a special bond. They all obey the champion. Gradually walking around and finding some trainers, I found my way back to the lighthouse. I haven't been here since the first day, but I don't have cuts, so I can't go through. I had some more shards, so I went back to the archaeologist. But on my way back up, we found this guy. He definitely wasn't here before. He saw that I met the suit and wanted to challenge me to cards. But again, I am not good enough to fight him. I just keep wasting my money on these hustlers. And with all the money down the drain with wagering, I don't have a lot of stuff to heal with. Unfortunately, I'm forced to sleep. My third day in Salt and Shadow. I just woke up and I'm on my fourth. With my team fully healed up, we quickly swipe through Sorrow's path and find our way back to the farmland. And I'm never going into this house. And there was a biker here waiting for me. Oh, Muck, yes, a new player. He wants to play that card game. I bet $3,000 myself, but Chaticus, of course, beat me up. I didn't accept that and went again. This time, after a couple quick plays, we won.
Chaticus challenging me. Okay, your 7-7's down there. I would do a 7-7 down here then, right? Okay, so this is neutral, so we should be able to take this card. Yeah, okay. Wait a minute, I'm winning this. No, you're playing too aggressive? Too aggressive? What do you mean too aggressive? What is defensive versus aggressive here even mean? Oh, that was so close. Oh, that was close though. So I'm gonna put my Trico down here. What? No, we're good. I put this guy down here, yeah? Yeah. Yes! Oh! We've won! Chaticus!
I look like a real Bidoof, he says. Beat up the trainer, and the sign said, warning. Do not talk to rocks. Talking to rocks is a crime. He gave me Ice Punch, and this one gave me a full restore. I go straight to Skyspear Climb. I haven't fully explored here yet, so there's still some people I have to fight. There was this, though. A memory of defeat. My level 6 and level 4 Onix and Hoppip versus a 50 Charizard. No one on my team was over 2 digits, and I lost a lot. But after enough ingenuity, I finally figured it out. First things first, I throw out some Stealth Rocks, but Hoppip used Ally Switch to guarantee the Charizard hitting my Onix. I had Sturdy, so it was chilling, but he got taken out after. And that was completely fine. This next turn, I switched out Hoppip for Growlithe and put Hoppip back in. I predicted my right side and made sure to roar the Charizard out. Our second Pokemon was a Moltres, who immediately got half. But I need to keep my right side Hoppip alive, so I switched out for a Murkrow. Sacrificing him and doing another roar. Getting their Charizard to half and doing the same thing once again. They had no chance. And in return, the memory blooms with fresh determination. We got a memory of triumph. The only way outside of sleeping to get a max revive. The reward was very worth it. There's more people to fight. I decided to explore the mountain for a little bit, but make my way back to the Dragon Cave. Not a little stronger, this old man shouldn't be able to hold me back. I may have lost my Ampharos Lapros, and then lost 10 growth right after. But hey, we still won, and we got a Shred of Hope. Level 28. And a bunch more stuff too, but more importantly, we can keep going forward. I go fishing for a little bit and scoop up wish cash. And I used that Shroud of Hope from before on my amphi. We revived here and could go forward, but decided it was best to go back. Returning to the climb, beating up any trainers I left behind. After beating up a bunch of people on the outside, we got here, outside the cave, where we found these cut shears. And we got a level 30 Shred of Hope. We finally enter the Skyspear Caverns. We saw a sign. If you're reading this, you're too close. There was a book behind it. The PCs are spreading beyond control. They burst from the ground like weeds. I've encountered Pokemon twisted by steel. The metal is part of them now. Steel type Pokemon. The implications are terrifying. I don't think about it too hard and beat up the trainers ahead of me. Slowly, we made our way to the upper side. There were still more people to fight, but as we kept going forward, they were getting much stronger. So we gotta make do with what we got. But I did see a little sign. It's a statue honoring the Mountain Lord. They asked for a Growler and Rhyhorn offering, but we don't have it. I find my way back to another PC, building up my teammate again. We decided to take a quick pit stop and start capturing some of the other offerings. Now, we've got our sacrifices for the statue. Celebi, Pidgeotto, and Xatu. The statue's eyes glow with recognition, and in return, we receive an Articuno. And I named it after one of the game's creators. Truly a worthy trade. We decided to go for another one. At the house by the lake, there's another statue inside. One by one, we gave up our offerings. And in return, a Suicune. From the lake, we decided to go down south and enter Featherthorn Jungle. There was a lot of people hiding in the grass. Choked out my sadness and my original Eevee. But it's okay. In the middle of all these trees, we spotted another PC and a statue for the Bringer of Storms, asking for an offering of Mightyena, Pikachu, and Togedemaru. We don't have those yet, so we ignore it. I gotta be more careful and move forward. With my new shears, I cut this tree in front of me. But instead, we get a shiny Celebi. I need this. There are 2 more gods requesting him as a sacrifice. I don't know if he can run away, so I use my Master Ball. And now, the pink onion is ours. As we go forward, there's a guy here blocking a ball. And with my team, I felt really confident I can just beat him. But one by one, we all got swiped away. I truly tried not to lose, using all the heals at my disposal. Eventually, we were able to take out his entire team. Jake Firefanged his Steel-type Skarmory, but he had Rocky Helmet. The recoil damage did it to us. We blacked out, and our Perish song grew in tempo. 9 days now remain. I wake up with a new team, feeling good and refreshed. I go back, deeper in the jungle, and find this Absol just sitting there. I cut down the tree, break a rock, and he fights me, but after a little bit, I just catch him. A shiny red Absol. We continue to go deeper, finding our way back to Boiling Sands. It's that beach from before, but I haven't been here yet. I lost a few gamers in the fight, but it had to be done. And ahead, we found another book. Trainers are beginning to freeze in place, staring straight ahead. What could be causing this? Will it spread beyond the laboratory? I know what he's talking about, but we go forward to this boiling cave. Well, there's a lady here standing here, but she didn't want to fight. She's a card gamer. I check out a statue instead, and it's the first hunter asking for an offering of Omastar, Kabutops, and Aerodactyl. When we hover in the map, all it says is to find fossils. I was busy in the cave though, switching up my team. Found this other guy on the side, but doesn't seem to want to fight. What irony that the last soul I see from the sunlit world should be a wanderer, given by form salt, infused with shadow. Your eyes must sting from the glare of the sun. The sea would drown us, but to you, it's home. Why struggle to save a doomed and painful world? The choice is obvious. The champion must fall. But he says, defeating him now is impossible. I once fought beside the champion. I have never seen his equal. He saw that he would never lose. I saw that the world was already lost. After that little spiel, he offers to revive some fossils, but we have none. We leave him behind and bring ourselves back to the beach. Or I check my bag, and I actually do have a fossil. I hand him Lord Helix, and he begins the ritual, which is me just leaving and entering the cave again. Welcome back. I have chained the restless spirit. And we got our Almost Star. We don't have the others yet, but I'm sure we'll get him soon. I fight another trainer, but find the old man from the first day. I haven't talked to him in a while. He asked if I want to hear another story, and I say yes. He said he used to bring his daughter here to fish, taught her everything, to be careful around the hook, to watch her surroundings, and even to reel it in. Eventually, he let her cast, and suddenly, something pulled her line. She was almost yanked into the water, face first, but she dug in her heels, leaned back, and reeled the Pokemon in. A plump pink Pokemon stayed next to her. It was a Slowpoke. He tried to show her how to properly gut a fish. As he pulled out the tool, she instantly went to protect it. No, she cried. Don't hurt it. Instead, he let her keep the poke. She's not like you and me, you see. We do what we must. She didn't have to be like that. She could be so much more. With that, he apologized for the long story and gives me 15 lure balls in return, walking away silently, saying we'll see him at the lake. There are more trainers to fight, but being on the beach, they were not that big of a deal. And behind this guy, we found a fortress sitting there in a Pokeball. I went back in the cave, picking up this Dusclops. But beyond that, there wasn't much to do but wrap our way back. Right at the bottom of this beach, we found another cave. Oh! I think there is some kind of mistake here. We've entered invalid map ID, an amalgamation of mistakes, glitches, and overall failure of this world. I have no idea what I'm looking at, but there is a sign here. PC relocation project. Utter failure. Uprooting PC from location, not advised. Reality compression, unstable. Do not remove PCs from the wild. Made their warning pretty clear. Now, I guess I know better, and decided to take my leave. As we exit, we find ourselves in the Dragon Cave. I don't know how I got here, but I got a couple balls in return. I got this Pupitar for later. I flew back to the Shimmering Lake, where I saw him. There again. He was talking about how he dropped a line and fished up a Grimer. But more to the point, asking if I'd like to hear another story. He was telling me about a time he got attacked. Suddenly, I was jolted awake from the ferocious tug of line. In the murky depths of the lake, I saw a gaping maw and furious eyes. I love this. No. It was a Gyarados. It swarmed towards me as I fumbled with my balls. But just then, I heard a low, dolorous tone. The Gyarados froze in place. From the darkness beneath me, emerged a massive form of blue and white. I love this. He doesn't like my answers. A whale lord of all things came to my aid. They blasted away the Gyarados and retreated back down to the depths from which it emerged. He said his daughter always liked that story. In return for me listening, I got a Blastoise Knight. I still don't have a Mega Ring, so it's kind of useless, but I'll take it. But for me, I just went deeper down into the jungle. I tried to fight this guy again, but I failed and ran, flying back to the Shrine of Silent Gods, giving this guy some more of my shards I picked up. And in return, he gave me an ancient badge case. It's a valuable item of an era long past. We made our way back, taking the way up to scale Skyspear climb. But we see him again, standing in front of the water. And he was telling us about a time, long ago, where he sought to usurp the champion. He traveled the isle, capturing a strong team, and he mounted a challenge against the master of Skyspear Summit. He fought his way past scores of his acolytes. He knew he could beat him, but he never got the chance. I topped the mountain. I heard a sound. It was muffled, but unmistakable. It was the sound of a little girl crying. It came from an old abandoned rest house. Inside was a girl, even younger than you, curled up in a ball, sobbing. The infection hadn't grasped her. How? I don't know. What I did know was that she was alone. Meeting my daughter changed everything. For the first time, I didn't have something to fight for. I had something to live for. He gave up fighting the champion. As always, he appreciates our time and gives us a Swamperdite in return. He says the story nears its end. I'll see you where it began. And he waddles away till the very next day. I know exactly where he's going and decided to meet him there. And after cutting this tree, we found our way back to the cradling lighthouse. And there he was, standing at the edge. I was created for a purpose, as any wanderer is. I took up that burden willingly. I knew then, as sure as I know the sea, that I'd give anything for her. For a time, life was bliss. It was far from easy, but we looked after one another. I taught her how to fish, how to scavenge, how to defend herself. She taught me so much more. She's fiercely intelligent. She certainly didn't get that from me. I couldn't keep her safe forever. There was a long pause. One day, she told me she'd made up her mind. She would defeat the champion. My greatest fear was realized. He told her of his travels. He told her of his perils. And he told her that he didn't think she can do it. That sealed it. He wanted to protect her, but my fear of losing her consumed me. It had been ages since we last spoke. That fight weighs heavily on my mind, and hers, I suspect. He turns to me, and he says, I've told you my stories. Both you and my daughter have outgrown your need of me. Please, would you put me to rest? Put me to rest. No. I like you. My choices are yes, no, and what do you mean? Ask for some clarifications. My story had its ups and downs. Perhaps I don't deserve this, but I want to end on my own terms. When you tell my story, I want to be remembered as a fighter, someone who, in another life, could have defeated the champion. So I ask again, would you put me to rest? He's very clear about his request, and I say yes. He says, thank you. One last tale then, to end the saga. One last tale then. Oh, another story to end this saga. Ready yourself. We have to actually beat you up. You're gonna fight back? And he starts to fight me. I don't understand. You want to go, but you don't want to go without a fight? Like what? Obviously I can't win, so I run away. I don't know who he thinks I am, but I just go back to the lighthouse. There's this guy here that wants to play cards, but I just ignore him. I go deeper in the office of the lighthouse and find Professor Oak. He dyed his hair blue. He says, you again. A chance to fix my mistake. We fought him on the first day and beat him, but now the false professor is a lot stronger. Again, we can't. I flew my way back to the lake house and went deeper to the jungle, where to the west, we found the Queen's Garden. I shoo away some of these trainers who actually took out a couple of my people. The Pokemon here were strong though, so I decided to catch a couple. Even going fishing and catching what we can. And with this Dragonlage pickup, we decided to go back to Skyspear Climb, confronting a statue, honoring the treasure keeper, who requested a Pupitar, Dragonair, and Dragalage. And we've got all three at our disposal. We stood back and received a Salamence, my favorite dragon by far, who immediately elevated the team. With that, we went back to the Queen's Garden, deciding to explore a little bit more. There was a couple trainers to fight, and this girl who wanted to gamble, but I didn't have enough money. We wrapped our way around and found this cave. It said 3 out of 4 trainers recommend entering this cave. I was thinking the majority's on my side, so I go for it. 3 out of 4 trainers recommend entering this cave. That seems pretty worth it. All right, we'll go on. 3 out of 4 trainers do. Okay. I'm leaving. I'm not saying it here. You can't run! 3 trainers are waiting to bamboozle me. I did not heal up or get new Pokemon for these fights. Did not anticipate this at all. And as you'd expect, I lost. You have learned. Try a different path. My perish song grows in tempo. 8 days remain. I decided to go back to the garden and along the way pick up this Rhyhorn. I wasn't too interested in fighting people because I knew I had to build up my team a little bit more. So I went in the wild and spotted a Dr. Pikachu. I have no idea what this is, so I get the Toxapex out of the way. And quickly, we caught it. Somewhat vain. And he has the ability Power of Alchemy, which copies the ability of a defeated ally. I love it. It looks really cute. I tried to fight this guy, but I couldn't and lost a couple of my teammates. Fought this lady instead with slight issues, but it was okay. And came across this tree. The tree shakes as you approach it. No, please, don't do this. You want money? Here, this is all I have. The tree is speaking to me, and it gave me $2,000. I was kind of broke, so this was nice. But I am desperate to see the ball behind him. I go for it again, and he pleads some more. Please, I don't have anything else to give you. This tree looks like it could be cut down. In a bit of a moral dilemma.
This tree is telling me not to cut it down. We can't, right? I can't. I shouldn't. Cut it off? Devil May Cry says cut it. Do why? Cut it off, kill the tree. The tree shakes as you approach. Please, I don't have anything else to give you. This tree looks like it could be cut down. Would you like to cut it? But he gave me his life savings. That was his entire family fortune. Always more trees. There is a Pokemon behind him. I don't even know if it's worth it though. Don't do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. The Wanderer used cut shears. He's gone. He's gone. What even was it? There's nothing in the ball. We got money. We got money. My morals are a little tainted, but at least we got money for it.
I ignore my own criminal actions, decided to go forward, slowly scaling the climb, making my way back up the mountain, all the way to the upper area, and I found a book. They stand rigid, robotic, staring straight ahead. Some say the same thing each time as I speak to them. Are they even alive? This guy is clearly broken, but we leave him. But the other guy was no issue. We found our way up to the Skyspear summit, and there was a sign that said path to the weak and pitiful. And go forward, catching a honchkrow along the way. And I found this thing on the floor, the Thunder Trap 5000. But inside it was just a little token to Mars. I catch him for later. We push forth to the peak. Found a bunch of balls in the back, but it was gated off. None but the master of Skyspear may enter. And I assume it's this guy up here. But before I talk to him, I found another house. And it's Brock and the binoculars. Wanted to play cards, but I have not gotten any better. I let it be and talk to this guy who says you endured enough. And he actually flies you back to the jungle for free. But I don't do it yet. Decide to step up to the master, Wanderer. Many have ascended Skyspear in search of power. Fearing our rising star, the champion severed the source of growth and power and slew anyone who stood in his path. His betrayal is unforgivable, and he must pay the ultimate price. But no matter how much I drew upon this crystal, I failed to extract that price from him. By now, only a single drop remains. And I respond, one drop can tip the scales, so it can, but only in the hands of the mighty, one even stronger than me. You think yourself capable of toppling the champion, worthy of Skyspear's power, as if you do anything but squander it. And with that, the battle begins. Dragon Master G. But I accept I'm not ready and go back around. There's this guy standing here blocking an old man, just laying on the floor. I beat him up and walk up to him, and all he asked is to enter the dream. I make my way in, alone, just a rock in front of me. The sages were locked in a slumber. Their rigid minds made perfect prisons. Release this wise man's fear? I say yes, and enter a triples battle. Miss Magius, Hydreigon, and Frostlash. Admittedly, I am way too low for this fight, but one by one, we took all three down. But immediately, I realized that's not what I was supposed to do. He's still laying there, fearful in his mental prison. In reality, I was supposed to capture one of those Pokemon, so we enter the fight again. But now that they see me, they've turned up the heat, and they smack me down, piece by piece. I thought I had it in me. My perish song grows in tempo. 7 days remain. I'm back at the top of Skyspear Peak. There's this man here, Dragon Master G. He's the master of the mountain at the moment, and we really have nothing more in front of us but to challenge him. I set up my team and go forward to face him. As you'd expect, he's fully dragoned out, so I got as many counters as I could. Even with my ice and fairy and dragon, it was not enough. He swept away most of my team, and I accepted defeat. With a new squad, I tried again, but one by one, we were picked apart. I learned my lesson. Went to walk around a little more. Going back to this old monk's memory. We picked apart our two partners, and ISO, the Frostlash. Soon she was mine, and peace was in the old man's mind. But before I went forward, I went to face this guy, the card man. I used to suck, but slowly we're getting a lot better. And we actually defeat him. He said, I clearly need to work on my deck, and I'll head back to the poker lounge. He said, unfortunately, membership is invite only. But if you keep being other players like me, the owner will surely invite you. From there, he disappears. Even though we won, we had no more money in the end. Got a place to buy heals, but can't really do anything about it. And obviously, we're not strong enough to fight the Dragon Master. So I flew back to the lighthouse, where the blue-haired oak was waiting for me. My newfound ghostly Frostlash was more than enough to sweep away his team. I weep for this world now. And he left a Mega Ring and a Galadite. So now I can actually use these. Huge upgrade, but almost all of my Pokemon are useless. At the moment, I am forced to sleep. Sadly, wasting another day. Only 6 more for me. Hair song grows in tempo. I awaken with a fresh new team and check out the home in the Shimmering Lake and spot a crack in the wall where we busted a hole through and found this place. I have no idea where I am. I opened up a passageway where I found a staircase into this room, and there laid an old man. What is this? Oh, another dream setting. Dreaming halls should be monitored regularly. Under no circumstances should we disturb the dreamer. I'm going to disturb the dreamer. What is here? Enter the dream? Yes, I'm going in your dreams. Oh! An inside was the dreaming halls. Everything had just corrupted. There were quite a bit of fights. Even this wild area. It was a lot of exploration, and slowly my team was getting beat up. But eventually, we found this girl, a lone lady. And when I walked up to her, she had something to say. Curious. All that willpower, yet none of the wisdom to turn back. I have no idea who this is, but Willbreaker Cersei challenged me. Right away, she mega evolved her Alakazam. Quickly, our team fell to the floor. I didn't want to waste a day, so we left. We went back and realized we had enough for a sacrifice and a statue to the legendary Guardian of Ashes. And in return, we got the Dark Meat Moltres. From here, we went back to Skyspear Summit, where the scientist was here to stop us. He had a level 1 Whimsicott and a Regigigas that was level 50. It was a weird fight, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't exactly rematch because I didn't have much of a team. So I went back to the Queen to find some more. Scoop up the Swampert. With my big bird, made my way to the Queen's core. This big old crystal in the middle. I walk up to her, and she says, "Welcome, child. Even as the world fades, my garden flourishes. Do you know why orchids have value?" I respond, because they're rare. Exactly. Orchids are rare. They are fragile, need the perfect conditions to grow. What do they call flowers that grow anywhere? Weeds. The crystal's power flows unceasing. If shared freely, it would be worthless. As the void devours the island, my garden becomes ever more special. But this crystal's power will hold back the void the longest. It'll be the last light in a shadowed sea. Nothing could be more perfect. And with that, she challenges me. Now that I got Mega Ring, I have Swampert available. But with a bunch of grass, it probably won't be that helpful. I managed to get another memory and got back my Entei. Weeping Vine grows from a pile of salt. It's all that remains from a wanderer that finally lost hope. Okay, you have a Focus Sash, Speed Boost, Tech, Baton Pass, Substitute, False Swipe. So you can't take out anyone with your abilities. You have no attacking moves, actually. Swords Dance, Belly Drum, Stealth Rock. You can only do Stealth Rock and then maybe Baton Pass out, right? Rest, Snore, Belly Drum, Baton Pass. Baton Pass would keep the effect of Belly Drum. Oh. And Flail is, okay, Flail, okay, Magikarp is just here for no reason. Maybe the point is to protect Substitute a million times to get this free speed boost going on. Baton Pass to someone else. Belly Drum. We'll get the speed boost going with Ninjask. Protect, Substitute. We Baton Pass now into the Poliwag. Belly Drum. We Belly Drum and then we Baton Pass. Baton to Smeargle? No. We Baton to this guy and then we Flail. Boom, for the one hit. For the one Oko, there we go. Keep flailing around. We're a fish. Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah, okay, good. We're faster, we're stronger. Nice. Okay, we win. What is this Smeargle there for? What is this Smeargle there for? Just to mess with me? Just to mess with me, man? Nice. And now with that, as a full revive, I can put on one of my guys. His flames were necessary for the fight. I lost some guys, but the bird was more than enough as substitute. After not too long, the Queen of Orchids was defeated. She disappeared, and I walk up and touch the crystal beacon. It can be used any number of times to raise your whole party up to level 40. And with that, my whole team gets boosted up. And because it leveled up, they awaken from their faint. I'm not gonna lie, I stand here and do this for a long time. I'm making my whole box full of beasts. But on the side, I did also see this cave. On the map, we were just unknown. And the back had a painting of 4 young adults, smiling and laughing. But I don't take too much time. Now fully recharged, no reason to be stopped. I even went back into this forbidden cave, where Oak set up the Hoenn guys to bombard me. But now with my Mega, they had no chance. Not a whole lot here, but another secret cave in the back. We're still, which is mostly a bunch of items. But after slide and some puzzles, there's another secret cave. It took us in an elevator. There's only 2 buttons, caves or station, and we went down, where we found this office and a mysterious key card. The clarity he speaks of, I recognize its source. I cannot allow him to speak with the father again. My last loyal student. I hope you do not regret choosing to stand behind me. Looks like this place was attacked or abandoned somehow. I don't worry too much about it though, since gambling box in the back. I can never win these. I walk out with my new team, go back to the Skyspear Peak, where it's a Dragon Master G blocking me from the second crystal. But he is way harder. Still, with even berries and ice, we're getting pieced up. But even G was not enough for me. At the end, it was Absol alone, and you already know that was all we needed. As a parting gift, he gave me a Garchomp. Give the champion hell for me. And there lies the blue beacon behind him, which only could be used one time to raise a Pokemon up to level 48. I don't do it just yet. And wait, there's a gate here only available for the master. Of course I go through. And while we're up here, I went back to that scientist with Regigigas. It wasn't a problem anymore. Where there was an old Amber. G can never best me in a fair fight. His impotent rage blinds him to the truth. Mine is the only path. Sounds like that's a champion, but there's another secret rock cave behind us, where it's asking for Bo Pikachu, Pika Libre, Dr. Pikachu, Idolachu, and Punkachu. Right now we've only got the doctor, so it seems like we're gonna find some more. And I actually quickly find the Punk. We went back to revive our fossil. We got our guy, and with that, made our sacrifice. Where after we gathered each one, we were given the Tyrantum. Pretty worth, I'd say. And with that roar time, I'd say that's endgame material for sure. Slowly, we're getting better at the card game too. We beat up this old lady. She said she's going back to the poker lounge. And after we beat her, we were sent a telepathic message telling us to go to Deepwood to find it. Finally, we were invited. But getting that reminded me of something else. We landed back at the lighthouse and using the mysterious key card to go inside. I didn't even know this was an elevator and went all the way down to the hive, the heart of the PC networks. Slowly, I keep sliding my way through. These trainers aren't too much of a problem. And we make it to the end, we find another book. I see now. It is all clear. I must kill the dreaming daughter. The steel father will help me. We must drown the world to end its monstrous offspring. Short circuit network, the father and the child, so that life may be made anew, pure, an anomalous infection. And when I go inside to the inner hive, there's PCs all in front of me, all over, even some blocking balls. There's a switch here, flipping it on and off. But I remember, I even took a picture of it. The books before referencing this, flicking the switches. I do it in the exact order it asked for. I'm not sure if it did anything in the end. And inside, I walk to the father's chamber. Words light up on the screen. Ah. You're here. And with that, a fight commences. And he's fully genesected out, taking no time to one-shot my Jake. I just leave. I know I'm not strong enough. I have to leave the lighthouse. We have some more people and cards. I walk around a bit because I'm curious about the poker lounge. We find it, and I swipe in my card. And it's actually pretty nice. There are these trippy paintings, and the Snorlax to take your order. Free drinks, top shelf. That was a free drink, Snorlax. Ludicolo Icy, Bottomless Pheromosa, or Raging Taurus. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it one by one. It's a Ludicolo Icy. Drink or nah? And we drink. Nice and sharp. The Bottomless Pheromosa. Let's see, what do you have? Tasty. And you still haven't hit the bottom. What? Tasty. And you still haven't hit the bottom. Is it literally bottomless? Is it literally bottomless? There's no way. I think it's truly bottomless. What else do you have? What's the Raging Taurus? The Raging Taurus. Let's drink it. Oh! Wow. It actually shook the screen a little bit. That's pretty funny. All right, what's the top shelf? Oh, berry juice and Blastoise Blubber, a fizzy drink. It restores the HP of one Pokemon for 30 points. And Pikachu Paradise, a very sweet drink, restores the HP of one Pokemon 70 points. And Moo Moo Mojito, used for medicinal purposes. And it restores the HP of one Pokemon at 100 points. Yeah, let's get a bunch of these. I left that there for later. With a lot of fainted, I feel like I need to build up my team. And more importantly, finding more Pikachus, like Idolachu, Bo Peepachu, and this random Terrakion I found on the side. I even got a second Doctor because I want to keep my original. Slowly, we got them all. Sent them to this statue. And in return, got one with a red cap. And I got a lot more people on my team, so I'm back to the lighthouse. Or I almost forgot. This old man asked me to end him. I see you've returned. Allow me to ask again. Would you put me to rest? I have no choice but to say yes, and he challenges me to a last fight. But I knew it was gonna be mostly water, so I thought the Pika would be alright. He was not. But barely. We were able to pull it through with his final words. Please take Strawberry with you. And he gave me his Slowbro. And he says, if I can ask just one more favor, as if this isn't enough. Should you meet my daughter, could you tell her I'm sorry? He vanishes into the void. And the old man is gone. In between sessions, the devs actually updated the game and one of the gods got golden. And there was a point where I just creamed through a bunch of these trials. And in return, you get the equivalent of a max revive. You can't even use them in the end game, but they were fun and worth it, I think. I break this rock and even spot a shiny Graveler. Ironically, that's exactly what the Mountain Lord wants. Offered up an Onyx in our recent capture. But we received another Onyx. But now it's the full blue crystal Onyx. Too clean. And now a Steel Ferret. And after becoming triumphant, I decided it was time to go back inside this old man. His dreams had this woman awaiting me. Earlier, we went into the fear cage and after a silent sacrifice, received the Nightmare Child. I thought this dog would be perfect for her psychic types. And one by one, her Siglif, Hoopa, and others got wiped out. Beating her allowed me to access the memories of all my past Pokemon. So I don't have to worry about forgetting past moves or anything. As we make our way through the world, we're slowly beating up all the card trainers we see. And eventually, everyone makes their way to the poker lounge. And now we have access to a tournament. Well, yeah, we lose every time though. And the buy-in is $10,000. I don't exactly have the fundage to keep up my losses. Sometimes I lose and I actually don't have the money on me. That's fine. We all come at tough times. I'll accept a Pokemon instead. You don't have enough money to cover your debts? That's fine. We all come on hard times. I'll accept a Pokemon instead. I'm a reasonable man. Any Pokemon is fine. Just know you won't get it back. Which Pokemon will pay your debts? No! Wait, my team is so clean! So when we don't have the money, I get a bunch of babies as fodder. So now I pretty much have infinite tries. As you'd expect, I keep it going until I win. Everyone clears out the room. Thank you, child. I'd lost hope at cultivating a worthy opponent. You are the one I was looking for. Please, join me in my private office. There's no one more around. Feels like a ghost town. But we go through a lot more of those weird paintings, each one of them being one of the gamers. We go forward, all the way to the end. And he just wants to play more cards. I go ahead and leave and make my way back to the lighthouse. Deep down in the depths of a hive, the father is still waiting for me, and my first team was wiped. But it's okay. It was a second that made it happen. One by one, each of their Genesects toppling over. We just needed the right team. New user accepted. Goodbye, world. And now I can use the PC. I have the option of a dev console. I can override the Pokemon level, the weather, enhance the shiny rate, or hack my inventory to get infinite items. It's kind of clean. I like playing with the weather. We got a lot more shinies. With all the Pokemon that I caught and getting the 2 crystals, this big room at Ranger Rest is fully available to me. But now, after collecting my items, this trash can fell on the floor. A bulbous steel tube burst from the floor. It undulates like a throbbing vein. Enter the veins of the earth and make my way through this narrow cave. And at the end, see a distant light. And laying all the way down is a boy in a red hat. So, you've finally given up. Though I couldn't defeat you in the heart of your infection, this place is safe from your corruption. The parish song plays. Your days are numbered. I will not allow your escape. Let's just enjoy the view. He just wants a little company. I go back to him, and he says a steel infection roots the other trainers in place. They stare ahead, moving only to attack a wanderer. We are not made from flesh. We cannot be infected, and neither can the monster. Whatever it is a virus within reality. It twists and chains, warps and breaks. It hopes to desperately continue the parish song to delay the doom a little longer. The champion defends the statue to the dreaming daughter. The creature will perish along with the world. It is too strong to defeat in battle. This is the only way. I told him his fatalism offends me. I assure you, I loathe it more than you ever could. But you have not faced the monster. I have. It murked my closest friend. Now the eldest is the only thing protecting this place from infection. If you catch it, the monster may escape from the drowning world. Please, we can't take that risk. And I tell him, stop me if you can. And a battle begins. He's got the classic red team, starting with the Squirtle and Ivy. Even guys like Charizard, Lapras, and Snorlax. We took a couple of my guys, but the team was more than enough. It wasn't too long before he was defeated. Your resolve was something stronger than mine. I think the monster has something new to fear. I'm sorry I tried to stop you. The monster wants you to sacrifice yourself. Don't. If you refuse, it will reveal itself. Just don't lose. One last look. And disintegrates. And we go down to see what's stopping the virus. And it's Arceus himself, the creator of all things good. Of course, I waste no time in capturing myself. But now we've destroyed the balance of this island. We have no choice but to go forward. Find and face the virus. But for right now, I gotta go to bed. My parish song grows in tempo. 5 days remain. And I decided to head back to the poker lounge. Well, before we won a big tournament, and the boss is the last guy to fight. The suit stands there alone. But he gives you blank cards. And with these blank cards, you put any of your living Pokemon in there, up in your deck. I think you know where this is going.
Do you want to capture Arceus' soul in the card?
He's in the card forever now. We can't take him out. There's still a lot more people to fight, but I don't need him. This side quest that has nothing to do with the main game is way more important. We just have to beat the number on the sides of the card. And there's Pokemon typing included, so if it's super effective, it's +2. And if it's super weak, it's -2. This guy's my last fight, and I stand here for a long time. To win, you need to beat him 3 times in a row. Once in a normal game, another that's chained, and a last one that's infinite. The cards won't stop on the walls. They'll wrap around and take on the side. It took many tries and multiple streams to actually do it. Here's some highlights of my last one. Hope that he doesn't place right there. He won't. He will. I thought I knew you like that. Ice to Psychic? No. We just go right here. I need to take that card. And he takes it back. Oh, we can take that back. Yeah. We're chilling. We win this. Okay, yeah, we win this. Maybe I should go right here then. Because he can't chain it. Okay, he can't chain it. I can double take right there in the middle if I really wanted to. But I won't right now. Because I'll do this. Yeah, I'll do that. No! Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I can still do this if I really want to, but I shouldn't. Because I should wait until the end. Because you're going to do this? No. I'll do this, right? And what's going to happen is I need to place a card right there. But when I place a card right here, it'll clear everything out. Right? Yeah! I'm not saying I called it, but I mean, I totally just said that would happen. I'm just saying. All right, last one. Real, final game. We could ice on steel. Fighting? Okay, we do fighting, yeah. We start the chain and should bait him to go either right here or right here, right? Because he's gonna 100% take this. Whoa! Oh! That's right, dude. Infinity, hello. I keep forgetting that. Okay. If I go here, my 4 is no longer exposed because that's my guy now. That's my Cecilia. Is poison resist ice? No. Yeah. No, that's not bad. No, it is bad. Oh, that's not bad. No. Oh, maybe it is. Listen, I can take it right here, right from the side, or I can take it. You could play his dark type move. That's right. I mean, even if his dark fairy would resist that. Oh, but you're saying I should take that, dude? I'm so.
Shuckle middle? That's an option. That's honestly an option, because we take him from above. You know what? Holy wait, that might actually be an option. Because we take from above, he can't put to the right, and we can take from... Oh! That's fine, because right here, right? We take Spolkia. Oh, the Shuckle middle! Oh my god, dude! You're a genius. Who said that? Alex is a wizard. Alex, dude, a wizard. We finally have done it. We finally beaten this guy. Dude, Jesus, that took so long.
After we beat him, he stands in silence. I never expected this. How can you beat me thrice in a row? It seems for once, I'm the one that made a most foolish bargain. But a debt must be honored. Even my own. And with that, he evolves into a Garatina and tells me to make my request. I have 3 choices. Serve me in battle, release the trapped players, or to let me think about it. Like I said before, I won the tournament, beating all the players. But afterwards, the lounge was cleared out, and they were all put in these purgatorial paintings. I could have them help me win, but I can't let them stay there. Release the players from the portrait cards? A most selfless request. If you're imagining a hero's welcome, I must disillusion you. Time does not pass for them in the paintings. They are unaware of their imprisonment. They will not thank you for saving them. They will not know if they even needed saving. Is this what you desire? Still, I insist and tell him yes, release them. And for a second time, he questions me, asking why. They existed only so you might defeat them. They are lesser. My choices are, I don't need your power, I want to be a good person, or I want to keep playing. And that's exactly what I say. He's baffled. I never considered someone would play my game just for the enjoyment of it. I baited players with prizes. I created a luxurious lounge to draw them in, safe from the drowning rain. Thank you. With that, he was vanquished back into the void. All the paintings on the walls were taken off. I leave the main office and everyone's here. Everyone's happy and chilling. Even the suit guy. I can still talk to him. He can do the cool flash on command. This guy like gunned us for no reason. And with that, I leave the lounge, making my way back, finally, to Journey's End. The champion is ahead. There's also this weird locked cave. I tried to do it the first day but couldn't get in. But unexpectedly, the door is unlocked now. I open it and walk inside. And it looked like a long, empty cave till we came to a mirror. Where it was me, staring back at me. Your reflection catches your eye. You've never really gotten to see yourself clearly before. The mirror makes you feel ever so slightly less alone, at least. And I'm asked to touch it, and of course I do. Just as your fingertips are about to touch, you catch a glimpse of a grin. And right away, we were rushed into a fight against myself. They're the same Pokemon to me, except shiny. We have the same Mega Stones as well. I didn't have a team for it, so I went back. When I was back, I got beaten up again. I kind of went for a lame strat, purposely getting weak Pokemon to paralyze them later. I just manipulated the bot to the exact stars that I want. It wasn't easy, and I lost a lot more than I'd like to admit. But eventually, we did it. The defeated reflection glares at you at shock and anger. Slowly, it offers a handshake. I can either accept the handshake, do a friendly wave, or flick it off. That's exactly what I did, because I don't like him. It appears to chuckle and disintegrates into dust. Leaving behind a Pokeball, I reached in and take it, which left a hole in the wall. Though we got a Ditto, but a rainbow Ditto with a question mark at the end. Before I got a chance to check him out though, it said, oops, I made a rather large hole in the wall, large enough to crawl into. I reach inside, and I feel nothing. Nothing at all. No breeze, not even a cold. Sit on the edge of existence? I say yes, cautiously. You stare down into a perfect abyss. This part of the world is unfinished. The sea mother made the night and dark sea. There's still darkness left over. You're made of this darkness, anchored by salt. And it asked me to enter the abyssal sea. I say yes, but I was halted by a voice inside me. You must not. Creature of shadow, made from the darkness left over. If you were to enter as you are now, you would be lost. Lost, like a drop of water in a swirling sea. But I'm persistent. I want to feel it. Here goes nothing. Literally. I go inside, and they didn't lie. Wasting a day, continuing my ever-growing parish song. 4 days remain. I've awoken from my slumber, renewed and rested. We're here in my PC. As a reward for my last fight, I got a rainbow Ditto. Got an unknown typing. We're right outside Journey's End, where the champion awaits me. It was immediately stopped. Only the worthy may meet the champion. His work is too important to be disturbed. You are arrogant. Flee now and live a little longer. The champion will reign forever. There's some signs right before that tell me some important stuff for these next fights. Like how I can't use heals at all inside this building. And another one that tells me to ensure my affairs are in order before proceeding. Once you walk in, there is little to no chance you are walking out. I put together the best team I could, making sure to charge everyone up if needed. Even sending out some sacrifices like the Diamond Josu, the Big Golden Barney, and the Dragon Shenron. I have no idea what to expect, but I walk in. And right away, a trainer is waiting for me. A wanderer. How splendid. I have so many questions about the state of the world beyond this tower. But if I ask, you might give me answers. And then I have nothing to wonder about in these last frozen hours. There's only one thing I know for certain. The champion will reign forever. Our first fight begins. And even though it looks like Blaine, this is Dr. Vayne. Not necessarily a full fire type, but he starts off strong immediately, sniping down my Crystal Onyx. I do have a Mega, so I can respond with that. But he fights off my Finny immediately. And because we're so late in the game, we can also double Mega. But even still, they both get washed away. I was looking a little hopeless, especially when he Mega evolved as Charizard. But Barney and Delphox was able to do it, so I must learn what lies beyond. He disappears in front of us, and the door opens. I don't know what to expect. expect. We just go ahead to progress. And we were sent to this hallway. There's this green carpet, and we walked up to it. And I was told, the champion desires a challenge. If you admit you're weak, we will heal your unfainted Pokemon. There's a PC over there, though, so I can switch out my party. I tell him, no. You will have no excuses. I sound just like him. I ignore that. Such a load up the graveyard. Unfortunately, even Barney who lived needed to stay behind as well. I shouldn't have started so strong, but the B team is with us now. We walk up the stairs, and ahead is the big boy Bruno. Ladies, gentlemen, spectators to the champion's glory. A challenger approaches. Everything is on the line. The crowd cheers with only a single chant. The champion will reign forever. It was the pronouncer Brutus who came to fight next. I megaed my Gyarados, but my Altaria was taken out. It was honestly a good trade, but after, it didn't matter. Both my megas swept out immediately. The red cat Pika held her own for a while, but when the Kangaskhan whipped out her child, it was a little too strong. She stood there alone though, against my team of 3, so it should have been good enough for me. But she responds by taking out my monkey, and my muck, and my Magnezone. That was her last move that took us both out, and I lost against Brutus. Honestly embarrassing. Should have been free. I have learned, but there are no different paths to try. My Perish Song grows in tempo. 3 days remain. The champion awaits. I used the final one-time beacon on my big Barney, where the devs actually updated the game, and the scenery changed. I like it now. And with that update, Barney also got an upgrade. Got this item and an ability that works out with him. And before I went any further, I caught some more sacrifices, went back to the lighthouse, and went down the elevator deep into the depths of the hive, where here we got Hogarth. And just for good measure, we went further into the Featherthorn jungle and paid homage to the bringer of storms. We enter the first Elite Four. Of course, we were ready to beat this guy, so I figured the second time around shouldn't be too bad. But it was actually the worst. All of us got taken out. Barney was left alone because of Mega Charizard and Aegislash. We had the Roar Time Dragon for the 1, and because I KO'd, my ability allowed me to clutch up. With that, Dr. Vane was vanquished. We walked forward, and of course in between was a hallway. We've seen this before. On the green carpet, I can admit my weakness, begging for a free heal, but I give the champion no excuses. Unfortunately, the graveyard is starting to fill up, but I got a whole new team with us, bringing Barney as well, where we face him again, Pronouncer Brutus. This is where I lost my last day, and this time it was looking to be the exact same fate. One by one, we were pieced up, and quickly I awoke, battered and defeated. 2 days remain. I don't stop here though, building up a new team and going for it fully again. I was pretty certain that this first fight was free, so I went in without thinking, but I lost, and now we have a single day remaining. I've got to play this a little smarter. We go back to Vane, hoping to take down the doctor again. I lost on my final day, and instead of waking in bed, in front of me, I see a Mew. I see you've been met with a terrible fate. As we warned you, this is an unjust world. We never expected you to save it, though we hoped you might prove us wrong. I beg him, please give me a little more time. And he responds, still you persist? We created this world to be broken. Though you may struggle for a time, the final battles are truly impossible. This right here is the only ending. If I tell him you're wrong, I will find a way. Very well. I shall grant you 3 days more until we meet again. And I awake with 3 more days remaining, and I immediately lose again. It's from here I take a slight detour back into Deepwood. There's another statue I still didn't sacrifice to. Caught the Cabbage really quick, and we got a scissor. You get Mega Evolve, so that's kind of cool. But I go straight back to it, where I lost. Again, it was on my second, final day that we finally beat him. And it was probably the best fight we've ever done. Had minimal losses at the end there. Only 2 fainted, and I've still got big boys for Brutus. Even with the Mega Lucario and Swampert right next to him, half our team was still swept away. Kangaskhan almost 1v3'd us again, but Diamond Joe did what he needed to do. And with full HP and 5 losses behind him, we've done it. I take no excuses and put everyone in the graveyard. With preparations completed, we walked up, and this guy who looked like Wally, another step forward, growing stronger. Every day, I push past my limits, but now I know the unbreakable truth. Champion will reign forever. Master Walton came for a win. My big gulp was immediately slurped down. Same with the dosage and my Joseph. It was actually Jake and Bon Clay that came through for the first. And after I switched him out, my Mega Ampharos cleared out the rest of them. We won against Walton. He dissipates as the door opens. I reject any help and clear the corpses from my party. We got a new team together. I don't know what to expect, but I walk up and it's a Nurse Joy. She says, have you been looking for me? I wish I could have healed you when you needed it. But sometimes it's kinder to end the misery instead. The champion will reign forever. And she challenges me. High Priestess Joy. Got this big old Xerneas, but I got an Electrode and Gengar, and you self-destruct right away. It won't affect my teammate, but also barely did anything to them. That was a big waste. But Dr. Pikachu's poison was more than enough for the fairy. I kinda just ignored the Chansey, beating off everyone else on the right. Unfortunately, the doctor was taken out, and we do no damage to this Chansey because she's max defense now. I sacrificed my Gengar's life to curse her, and I switched into Bon Clay when she tried a Toxic. So we did it right back to her. She keeps healing, and we have no fighting moves. So if we didn't curse Toxic, I think there would have been no way to win. And Nurse Joy was defeated. The next door opens. I take these bodies out of my party, put a new team together. I walked up the silent steps, and there he stands. A new face? If we've met before, forgive me. I don't remember weaklings. I'm the master of this world. Why do you visit my throne room? And I tell him I'm here to challenge you. Why? So that you may bleed yourself on the cursed altar? I take one child, so she drowns them all. How loving. Something is wrong, as if Error. There, you see? I can't even speak of it. Not that it matters. Steel burns my veins. The world is broken. It cannot be fixed. Only reborn. I will not feed my corpse to a ravenous future. 13 children had come before me. 13 champions. Children that rose above the rest, forging their souls into offerings. But if she wants my soul for a chorus, she'll have to drown the world to get it. I shall never sing for her grotesque indulgence. I will perish undefeated, the greatest there ever was. And the fight commences. The unbeatable champion blue. And already he's got a lot of legendaries. With Con Ed, I used the same explosion strat on my ghostly Frostlass. Did a lot more damage, but still wasn't enough. It was here that we lost. But you didn't see that, and I just go back to my save. A slight stinky piece of cheese, but it was necessary. I go back into the fight with a whole new team, getting my Hogarth into big mode and tailwinding him so he's always faster. And with my Bond Clay, I transformed into Origin Kyogre. That way, his last legendaries stood no chance, and the unbeatable blue was defeated. No. I was so close. You can't revive her. His final words disappear into dust, and I absorb the soul of the champion. I save my game and walk ahead, where we're here in the victory chamber. Crimson crystals surround us, and a lone lady waits for us. You really did it. Your predecessor made such a mess of things, that pesky child. With the champion's power, you can restore hope to the world. By returning that which was stolen, you can appease the Sea Mother's wrath. People in Pokemon will be able to grow and change once again. You can save everyone. She steps aside, which is weird because no one's been able to walk. I go up to the statue, to the dreaming daughter. You feel a black emptiness welling within your stomach. For it asks me to offer myself, my soul for the safety of this world. And obviously, I say no. The fate of the world rests on your shoulders. Why do you hesitate? I ask her, isn't there another way? Without the dreamer, the world will perish. To summon her back, we must offer her a sacrifice. This is a duty of the champion. Your duty now. This is the duty of the champion. Your duty now. What? What? That's not what you what? Is this a new rule? Is it a new duty that you guys just made up? The champion was right. I just beat up the champion. He didn't do anything like that. You must offer yourself to the statue. But I again refuse. You're starting to sound like the last champion. Is this the path you really want to follow? If he had just made the right choice, none of this would have happened. It must be the way. It always has. There must always be sacrifices for the greater good. This world's future can be an age of prosperity and adventure. Either you die a noble sacrifice, or selfishly drag me with you. Me and all the others, of course. She's guilt-tripping and gaslighting you. Yeah, you know, that guilt-tripping, gaslighting, girl-bossing, I mean, what? Well, who even are you, man? First time I've ever seen you, you're telling me all these rules about the world? Relentlessly, I continued to refuse, and she said, you'll doom us all. She stands there in silence. What a waste of breath. You really are a stubborn one, aren't you? I can see in your eyes there's only one way to end this. The old woman snaps her fingers, and we are taken deep underwater. We stand here, alone. You leave me no choice. I cannot allow my own deletion. If you not sacrifice yourself, I will help you. I cannot allow my own deletion. So she's girl boss gaslighting. I will not, if you will not sacrifice, you just don't want to sacrifice yourself. She steps back and does a dramatic transformation. She becomes Missing No, starts spewing a bunch of code to me, and proclaims she is Error, and we are forced into a whole new fight. She had these strange Pokemon, and a lot of guys who were severely overleveled. And on top of that, a new status effect called Corruption, which just doesn't allow me to use some of my moves. Any of you do beat up all her starter scrubs, at the end, she has a massive Kabutops, level 139. It's here that I lose a lot of the time. We reset right in front of her though, so it's okay. We have no option to switch out our Pokemon, so we gotta work with what we got. We do switch up the order though, starting with Quagsire and Bond Clay, where Ditto does his transformation. These first two, I gotta whittle away before they do too much. So I use Toxic on my Quagsire, and Bond Clay learns their moves, and they just so happen to have Curse. So now they're slowly being whittled away, and while we're waiting, we whip out the Hogarth. I was planning to use the Curse again on this Don't Run to whittle him down, but the Corruption ruins our moveset. So Pika had to be put in to switch him out, but I switched him back in, so Bond Clay turns into Bad Egg. And the only reason why I did that is because this guy has a unique ability, where if you take him out, you gotta follow him as well. There's level and Soul Snag in the way, but we wasn't a problem. But his last biggin has a move called Level Down Wave. It's a double hitter and reduces my stats by 3 levels every time. We switched for Strawberry, but Hogarth had been had. But it was all planned because the whole time Strawberry was holding a poison orb. We tricked him into holding it, but that still wasn't enough. I am 100,000% certain that this fight is doable with our team. 100,000% sure that we can do this. But I don't think it can be right now. I'm hungry, man. 9 hours, 56 minutes. Last one. If this isn't it,
It's not gonna be anything else.
I went in for one last try. Managed to pull off the same toxic curse try on the first two guys. I switched into strawberry, but I realized I have my mega stone on.
What happened? We have no toxic orb. We have no toxic orb, so strawberry's in here for no reason. Why would I put on trick and not toxic orb though? That's stupid, man. I'm stupid.
A slight mistake, but he still got his guy. I switched him out, and Quagsire took the hit for him. Instead of using the bad egg strike on this big guy, we just scalded him down. Got a lucky burn.
Hey, burn you. Burn first try. Please. If I'm meant to win this. Burn first try. Yes! Oh my goodness, what?
He was singed to nothing, and we switched out Bond Clay to use the bad egg on this big one. Unfortunately, we had to take him out too. This is where I realized the red cap Pika comes back to life, and I was hoping he'd just end himself by hitting my egg, but the corruption status effect forced me to struggle. I was taken out by my own hands. It was very sad to see, and we had no chance of burning. All I can do was slack off with Strawberry and Spiky Shield with Pika, hoping he'd hit me. And luckily, like the fool he is, he actually did it.
Please, Spiky Shield, don't fail this time. Oh! We've done it! We've done it! The final fight! Oh my, we've done it! Oh my goodness, we've defeated the missing no. 10 hours! Hey, 10 hours and 20 minutes, man.
And we finally defeated Missing No. She stands there in silence. With that, she disappears into darkness, and we get sent into the shadows. Now, we're in the void. Out of bounds. There's a door with a room waiting for us. Instead, this door closed on the second day. It cannot be reopened in this timeline. I just went around it, and the creator was waiting for me. True ending. We almost didn't write this part. It's not like many players will ever read it. Players rarely finish the games they buy, let alone games for free. We hope that some people would care about our little world. Maybe we're talking into the dark, but if you're here, if you're reading this, thank you. People will tell you that things are hopeless. They're lying. If you keep searching, trying, learning, you can find a way. We wanted to make a game about that. We hope that some players would overcome everything and find the secret ending. Meet you on the side here has something more to say. You weren't supposed to reach this place. We hoped you would though. You ignored our lies. You defied our challenges. You won. I ask, what is the Perish Song? The Perish Song is a symbol of existential dread. Many people have lost hope for the future. Climate change, fresh pandemic, rogue AI, the horsemen of the apocalypse seem to be racing one another. The future is not a video game. It isn't simple as a good or bad ending. Every effort today can minimize the pain of tomorrow. You are the dreamer now. Are you ready to proceed? Where would you like to go next? Back to the Cradle Isle or to the great unknown? The future is out there, and there's much more to see. Thank you for playing our game. And here, we're finally met with the full victory screen. You will be remembered. Dreamer and Firstborn. Days left. 1. Time 46 hours 29 minutes. That's real time, by the way. You can't speed up this game. Finally, we've defeated Salt and Shadow. Thank you all the devs and creators, and special thanks to Dan Felder and HTTP 404. If you guys are here at the end of the Salt and Shadow adventure, I love you. Eventually, I gotta do the one-day challenge. But for now, that's it. Pokemon Salt and Shadow.